Guys, I'm back with another guide video, but instead of moving forward, I wanted to actually go back to one of the videos I made, which is the pylon rushing from products in TVP. So a lot of you have requested and mentioned that the video that I made about pylon rushing, where the products went straight into DTs after, is not what they meet on ladder, and some of you said that the build that I did doesn't work against proxy oracle follow-up. So before I continue to create more videos and different guides, I just wanted to create a follow-up video on that one and just show you guys how the same build that I showed you before in the last one can still defend proxy oracle and pylon rushing just fine. Since a lot of people were curious about it and how it's supposed to be done and so on, because fair enough, they couldn't see it in the previous video since, like I said, the follow-up was different. Okay, so this game, TVP against Strange on Cactus Valley. As you can see, I'm still going gas first. It's exactly the same build. Actually, without even like joking, this game I did not go for an SCV scout because I was tabbing playing music or picking music. So, like I told you guys, usually SCV scout after barracks is done, or if it's a 4-player map on 18 supply. But because I was tabbing, I didn't end up scouting, which actually makes for a really good video, because what happens is the worst possible situation possible for me in one regard, but also I got a little bit lucky in another form in this game. So what he did is proxy oracle blindly without scouting, because if you scout on 4-player maps and then you go for proxy oracle, the timing is way off. So as you can see, this is my first scout. There was no SCV scout, and this is where I see the mothership core and I know it's one base. I double checked the nexus just to make sure, but now I know it's one base, and instantly what I do is I put down an SCV, throw it on a bunker. One thing, make sure that the bunker, whichever map it is, make sure that the bunker is covering your ramp and your CC at the same time if possible. If not, just focus on the ramp, because your CC should be done by the time the pylon rushing begins. So, like I said, this is the build that I was showing you guys. I grabbed the second gas, and instead of making a starport, the way I adjusted is I went straight into cyclones and I'm making reactor marines with the bunker. So what this does is you basically don't need a starport to hold off pylon rushes. So I just went straight into cyclone because it helps against both oracles and the pylons. So the probe arrives, like I said. The goal should be to kill a probe, but this time didn't really work out. And the whole situation gets really messy because, once again, I did an SCV scout and I saw this way too late. But I just wanted to show you this game, that even if you don't get a scout, it's still possible to defend. Yes, it's a lot messier, but it's still possible. And that's why I included this game in this video. So I try to kill the pylon. But like I said, the whole reaction, everything is late. The bunker doesn't finish, and I just lifts the CC in the main base. So this video, you'll basically see that even if you don't scout, you're unprepared. You'll see how you're supposed to react, or how you can react in order to, get the best out of the situation. So he gets the pylon on the low ground. He gets the pylon in the main base, which is actually really good by him. So he's killing the depot, and at this point there's no point defending the depot. It's too late. In the previous video I was talking about how it's all about preventing this, but sometimes situations like this will happen where the pylons go up and you get pylon rushed. So this is what I do. I don't go for the pylon, it would take too much damage. So what I try to do is I let the depot die, but I try to save the other depot and the reactor while killing the pylons that I can, whether it's in my main base or here. I pull a couple of SCVs to repair the reactor because I don't want to lose it, and before he overcharges again I just go for the pylon, but he does the smart thing and overcharges this pylon, grabbing a couple of more SCVs. So at this point, once again, after not scouting, defense was pretty sloppy. He killed 5 workers, but meanwhile with the Reaper at the same time. I managed to kill 3 workers in the main base and 1 probe that was building the pylon. So the Oracle comes and the pylons are deflected. He used both overcharges, so I don't actually need to kill this pylon right away. But always know there's going to be 2 pylon overcharges when you get one base pylon rushed. So the Oracle comes and I lose 2 SCVs. Oh, I shoot my SCVs there. The important thing is to get lock on the Oracle as soon as you can and just A-move it with the Marines as well. The Oracle gets away on low health, but it's still fine. This is the situation where the worker count, even after me losing 8, it's still fine because I have the second base. So don't get discouraged thinking, well, this is GG, you know, the game is all messy. Again, the game was really sloppy, but I lost some SCVs, but you're still fine, you can still win. So after this, I make sure I kill the pylons, because there's going to be a little bit of a delay before the second Oracle comes. So I know that I can kill off the pylons and I don't need to worry about my main base yet. So what I do here is I continuously make cyclones and make reactor barracks. Reactor marines, sorry. I put the cyclones in the main base while defending the adept in the front. But also, you need to be careful of oracles just arriving here and picking off your marines. So at this point, it's very important to be like on the ball and just watch the minimap where the oracles are coming in. He comes in with the oracles, tries to kill off one of the cyclones, but I quickly move my marines in, lock onto the cyclone, and then you just follow it. Every time you lock onto the cyclone, the Protoss has to instantly run away, because if he doesn't, he's all-inning with the oracles. As in, he's not going to run away. He's not going to survive with neither of them. So the moment you get a lock on, and if you have some marines as a support, just keep following the oracle. Another oracle pops up here. I do a little bit of stutter step, so he decides to just go for the SCVs rather than marines. Picks some more SCVs, total 11 killed. The SCV count is 22 to 26. But one thing to take into consideration when Protoss goes for pylon rush to proxy oracle, their tech is very limited. I actually managed to, I'll go back a bit. So I sent out the cyclones outside of my base because I have plenty of marines. I had 7 marines and 1 more coming up plus another cyclone. So I went to try to find the Stargate, and when his oracle started going back, I realized, well, I could just pick one of the oracles. So at this point I was searching for Stargate, which should be around here, but again, he got unlucky with the proxying, so it was a bit far away. And in the same replay, I'll show you guys a decent transition out of this, because a lot of times people ask me, well, I defended it, but what do I do now? So you can either try to do a normal game, quote unquote, continue with your build order, or what you should do is most likely adapt to the game, to the situation. So what I do is I add a little bit delayed starport, like 2-minute delayed almost. And I just keep making cyclones and reactor marines. He committed to quite a few oracles, I think it was 4 in total. So I know that his tech is also delayed at the same time. So what I do is I push out with the cyclones. I know there's going to be pylon in the front. I force the photon overcharge while my marines are traveling across the map. So instead of waiting for my marines to come and then pushing, I just force the Protoss to use the overcharge, so my follow-up becomes a lot stronger. Behind this, because I'm moving out, I made turrets. You can see I'm still rallying cyclones. There's a medevac coming. The second photon overcharge was just used, and he is completely out of them. So after this, the push is pretty straightforward. I mean, he has a lot of stalkers. If you look in the Protoss base, he doesn't have the gases in the natural. The main is 3 gates, a robo that just finished with 1 ops, and blink halfway done. And 3 gates cannot really defend 4 cyclones, or 5 cyclones soon, a medevac that's coming, and this amount of marines. So a lot of people, again, have issues with pylon rush, but if you know what you're supposed to do, it's really not that hard to defend. I don't honestly remember the last time I lost to pylon rush, or was so far behind that I couldn't come back into the game. Once again, this is a game where I lost 16 SCVs, and still, after that, I just went across the map and just killed the Protoss. So, because last time I only involved one replay, this time I have another one, because I realized my mistake last time. So I'm going to show you a replay on a much smaller map where the Protoss proxies and they know where you are. Because some people might say that, well, you know, you defended because the Stargate was too far away from your base and it wouldn't have worked otherwise. So I included another replay. So this is actually played just before I recorded the video. So again, gas first build, I'll speed things up a bit. Barracks going up. And this time I do what I told you guys that you should do. Once the Rex is done, I scout with my SCV. It's going across the map, the Reaper is coming up. CC on the natural. As you can see, Protoss is proxy stargating with pylon rush. So I scout the natural, there's no natural base, and then I check the main. And another thing that can confirm that the proxy is there, at this point in the base, when your SCV arrives, there should be at least 2 pylons. I only saw 1 pylon, which again, you know, he's making a mothership core and a depth, so he needs a second pylon. I check, there's no second pylon, which means there's proxy somewhere, whether it's Stargate, Robo, or Twilight, like the last video I had. So I start up the bunker that's covering the ramp, because on this map, if you make a bunker here, it's going to cover the CC, but obviously not the ramp. And if you guys remember, in the first replay, I've mentioned that you want to make a bunker that first defends the wall, and then the CC, but if you can defend both, that's perfect, but some maps just don't allow it. So I actually make a mistake of leaving the depot open. So he pylon rushes straight into the base, which he wouldn't need vision for. You know, he can just pylon rush. And I pull SCVs with the Reaper together. I leave one SCV on the probe to make sure it dies. My priority here is, again, killing the pylons, just not letting the pylon rush happen in the first place. The Cyclone is going up, and reactor marines are on the way. I put the Reaper inside of the bunker because I don't need Reaper for defending the Oracle, and this will shoo away the Adept. And I don't mind him shooting at the orbital. I just want orbital as fast as possible for the mules. And this is the timing with this build. So my Cyclone is out, 4 marines. His Oracle is about to pop, and this is, I mean, this is the closest that Protoss can be to your base. This is the fastest Oracle possible, basically. And as you can see, as it comes out, I have Cyclone and 4 Marines. Now, he does a really smart thing here, which is the moment I lock on, he runs away, because now a Cyclone has a cooldown on the lock-on, which was really, really smart of him. So the moment he basically baited the lock-on, moved away out of range, and then went back straight in again because there were only 4 Marines. So here, he actually picks off all the Marines. I get a lock-on once again. Follow the Oracle, and the Oracle dies. Because the pylons were killed as well, he's supply blocked right now, and he can't make anything else. The thing is, even if he made another Oracle, it would not have done anything, because now I have 2 Cyclones, so if the first one doesn't do any damage, the second one won't either. So I'll speed things up a bit. I did similar, or actually I did same follow-up here, but he had better defense than the last Protoss. So you can see I'm still making Reactor Marines, still making Cyclones. He's waiting with the Oracles, and I just want to make sure. I don't want to go to the natural too fast, because there's always a chance a couple of Oracles might come and just, you know, kill your mineral line. So I send 1 Oracle here to push out these Adepts. Meanwhile, I defend my main, and once again, just like previous game, I don't make missile turrets until I move out, because you want to be spending money on your units instead of static buildings. So here, I'm moving out, and you can see a missile turret is going up here, missile turret is going up here. I managed to see the Oracles, kill off the pylon, and I move across the map. Now this game, again, he defended better than the last Protoss. And I push out, but he already had Immortal out and 2 pylons, so I couldn't really push in. But at this point, as a Terran player, I feel I'm in way better position than a Protoss is, because first of all, I have all the map control. I'm immune against any oracles. I know he will be rushing units because he needs to play defensive at this point. And what I do behind this, I added 2 more Raxes, have tac labs for them already. And I'm just transitioning into a normal game while making sure he doesn't take a third too fast. So you'll see here, I made a Liberator as well because I powered off. Okay, this is a reactionary thing. So whenever you defend a pylon rush, you're not supposed to make a Liberator every time after. If you notice, the previous game I didn't make a Liberator. That is because I didn't find a Stargate. This time, I found a Stargate, I empowered it. I saw no Phoenix, no Void Rays. So I've decided, while I push the third base, or delay the third, or push the natural, to make a Liberator and send it to the main, because he would only have Stalkers. And that's just one thing that you can learn from this replay. If he has no Phoenix, no Void Rays, you found a Stargate, you can just do stuff like this. My third is going up on the spot. You can see Stim Combat Shields +1 going up. Like I said, transitioning it to just a normal game. I have Vision on the third base. Liberator is still here harassing. And if you look at the SCV count, I'm way ahead in SCVs again because I held off the Pylon Rush. And from here on out, you cannot underestimate the Protoss. Not just because you defended the Pylon Rush doesn't mean, oh, it's a free win. You have the advantage, but you still have to play carefully, not overcommit. You can see the Liberator is still harassing here, denying the mining, and the supply difference just keeps growing. So my third base is already done. His is not even halfway done. And I'll show you guys another thing that I react to based upon scouting. So I saw Robo Bay right here. So what I do is I'll add 2 more Raxes soon to have 5 Raxes of 3 base, and I'm adding a reactor for another starport because what I want to do is make a strong timing push with Vikings, because once I've seen the Robo Bay, I know that he's going Colossus. So before he has big enough count, I want to try hit a good timing with Vikings and just end the game. Here, I don't have Stim yet. But since it's only 1 Colossus, I pushed in a little bit, picked off a pylon. Didn't really trade any units, so. Kill the Oracle here, so I know he has no vision of me. I scan to make sure there's no obs. I do a drop in the main because I know all of his units will be focused here. Drop in the main comes in. Scan, pick off the Robo because that's the most important thing right now in the game. And you can see the supply just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I try to do like a little push on the right side. And again, I'm not overcommitting just because I'm ahead. What I do is just pick it off the Robo, pick it off the Mothership Core, just go back. Free damage is free damage. No need to overcommit at this point. Not only I have 2 starports for Vikings, I also stopped his Colossus production, so yeah, I'll speed things up. You can see the upgrades are going up as well, so everything is going pretty well for me. Now he has some units in the main base because he has no vision, and someone might say, well, you know, he could have just made more observers. But the truth is, when I did the original Cyclone push here, when he had 2 pylons and Immortal, the reason he had Immortal is because he skipped the observers. And then after that, the reason why he defended the first push when I did it with Bio and Stim is because he had 2 Colossus, because he skipped the observers. So someone being behind is not always just in minerals or bases, it's also tech, how much map control they have, which in this game, Protoss had absolutely 0 map control throughout the whole game. I could have done anything I wanted, and he would not be able to do much about it. So here I do the Pylon push, Cyclones and Marauders in the front to soak up the Colossus, Marines in the back, and since I know there's another Colossus, since I've seen 2, I start pushing Vikings towards the left side because I know the Colossus will be coming from that side. And the Colossus is right here. dies. That's GG. So again, I'm sorry if the video was repetitive. I just wanted, like I said, to follow up on the whole pylon rushing thing. Just wanted to make it to explain to people who maybe did not know how to react to pylon rush into proxy oracle, because that's